In 2013, at the Grand America Hotel in Salt Lake City, Utah, I walked into my first annual convening as a staff member of Complete College America. Now, I'd been on the job for maybe 3 months, and it was a whirlwind time in which we developed the Game Changers publication that many of you have probably seen. We updated the organization's website, and Tom Sugar and I sat in a basement office together planning out what would be the gathering of 250 so people from our alliance. Because of how crazy those first several weeks were, I don't think I truly understood our organization or our alliance until I got to Salt Lake City. And a couple things stood out at that first event. First and most obvious, the focus on learning. Leaders from all over the country hearing from the brightest minds in college completion, true architects of change. Rich presentations and conversations that deepened our understanding of the challenges before us and that provided clear guidance on how to act. I also learned as the communications director at that time that PowerPoint presentations are like solid gold and people want them immediately after they've seen them. Second, it wasn't just talk. There was actionable intelligence, resources, tools, and templates that could be used to drive change back home. It was clear that this was the kind of gathering where you came together and listened, but the expectation was that you'd go back and, as Tom said, get on the horse. But I'll tell you, as someone who was new to higher education at the time, the most striking part of that first event was watching the moments in between all the programs we had so carefully planned. There's true power when people come together under a shared vision and commitment. That ballroom in Salt Lake City back in the days when we had a United Nations-like setup, then in Miami and Denver and San Francisco and now in New Orleans, was full of people who wanted to put students first, disruptors of the status quo, change agents, and patient reformers, sharing successes and deconstructing failures, comparing notes, and it was inspiring. And frankly, I was surrounded by the kind of people, just like I am now, that I wanted leading this country and that I wanted forging the next generation of leaders. And every year, 5 of them now for me, when we come back together, I'm inspired all over again. So when a year ago we started talking about the need for another website update, we thought much more deeply about our goals. What if we could take the best parts of the annual convening, that deeper learning, access to experts and resources, and most importantly, the ease of access to one another, and extend them across the entire year? What if rather than simply a website, we could provide a platform that would accelerate the growth of the movement and the intentionality of our efforts? What if we could build a true network of action? And today, I'm thrilled to report that we've done just that, and it'll even work on your mobile device. I'm not going to touch on everything today, but in the time we have, I do want to share a couple things about how the new platform will expand on data, provide a one-stop shop for implementation efforts, and most excitingly, allow you to connect with one another in a completely new way. First, the data. At Complete College America, we believe very strongly in the power of data, and we recognize that there are some sobering truths revealed as we evaluate it. So with this new web platform, we've expanded the amount of metrics available on the platform. We've expanded the amount of disaggregations you can look at. We've expanded your access to information both related to your state and the country. And in the old website, which I helped design, so I'll take responsibility for this, data was relegated to one place. You go there and you could look through a couple metrics. Not the case this time around. These data modules are all over the platform. Whether you're looking at a strategy, you're thinking about a blog post and you want to look at a blog post, these modules are going to be everywhere, ensuring that you have full access to everything that you as states provide us and all the visuals that we're trying to pull together to make sure it's as impactful as possible. But we know data is not enough. You need tools, you need resources to make it all work. So in these new strategy pages, right, Bruce talked about the momentum pathways, and so we have these laid out as a sequence of events. You go to these strategy pages, it's like you'd expect from us. We tell a little bit of a story, why the work matters, what data problems exist, and what the realities are that we're trying to address, and of course, how we can take action and learn more about the components that are necessary. But we go deeper than that. For the first time ever, we're providing completely living and breathing implementation guides online that allow you to go from the commitment and learning about the problem and helping to get buy-in from your stakeholders to go into action and what resources and templates are necessary to get there, And of course, how do you improve after you've gotten things moving, including what kind of policies might be helpful in the long run. You saw this in Spanning the Divide probably if you're familiar with that report. We also want to give you direct access to the content experts, the folks that you can reach out to and get answers to your questions directly, all in one spot as you're thinking about the different strategies to implement. So yeah, a lot of resources. Blake, you're going to send us to this website, and we're going to have to dig through all of this stuff. How on earth are we going to stay organized, even though you've got it laid out by implementation step? Well, let me tell you. We want you to log into this website and tell us just a little bit about yourself. What's your role at your institution? What kind of organization do you work for? By doing that, we are able to curate the content directly for you. And I think I might have accidentally clicked here. Oh, nope, we're fine. We're going to curate the content directly for you based on your role. So if you're an advisor and you're interested in 15 to finish, all those resources will be recommended for you on the front end. You can then click and save them, and when you come back to your dashboard, all the resources you need are right there. We also will curate a list of other content experts and peers that you might want to connect with based on your interests, based on your role, folks that are likely leading the same kind of work you are, both in your region and even a little more broadly. Additionally, because everybody likes to be in the limelight every once in a while, we've given you the opportunity to create your own profile. Share with us what you're working on. Share with us what you're interested in, again, to curate that content, but also to let other people that are working on the same stuff you are know more about you and the efforts that you've got underway. Making it easier to find someone that can give you more of the information, more of the resources and templates that would be helpful for your efforts. The other thing is we recognize that the most powerful piece of our work is in this alliance. And we sit in our offices and we do the phone calls and we come for visits. We send out the information. My job is communications. We send you everything we possibly can. But you all are doing the work. And we want to do a better job of highlighting all of you and sharing your stories. So as you see, each and every member of the Alliance will have their own page that many of our friends here in the room have already submitted content for and we've built up. So as you go to the map and you click on Indiana, you see some case studies about what's happening in Indiana. You see how many people have logged onto the network, what the state's currently working on versus what they've implemented, and then the latest news we've got from that place. When you're trying to develop a website to highlight your completion work, it can be very expensive. So we wanted to give you an opportunity right here to have a very nicely designed place where you can send folks and where you can share updates. And obviously, we'd be sharing them around the country. If you're a state team member, you're featured on the page, and then other folks from that same network are available as well. Now, I think every other speech I would tell you, like, don't get out your phone and mess around. But the end of my speech is simply this. Take out your phone. Go to completecollege.org. You may have an email already saying that we've created a profile for you if you're on a state team, because I'm just that good and I did it as I was walking up the steps. And start to think about what you want to highlight for your state. Start to think about the resources that you have that could serve the rest of the country, and we'll feature it on the platform. Start thinking about who you've met here that you want to connect with more deeply to work together on the things that matter most to our students. I'll leave you with just this one thought. I'm trying to buy us some time back. If you can't tell that I rushed a little bit. We are made so much stronger by the people in this room. And we've heard a lot of stories over the last 2 days that have reminded us about the power of the work we do. But we want to make it more actionable for you. So be inspired, be moved by the stories you've heard, but be ready to get to work. And know that we want to revise our plans and give you all the resources you need, connect you with the right people to ensure there's no barriers in your path to ensure more of our students graduate.